Hey guys, Rip Dragoon here, bringing you a 59-3 gameplay on Crisis Domination. And I'm using a commando with silencer and dual mags, and my perks are Hardline, Warlord, and Hacker. And so I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about this video. Is the reason that it's 10 minutes long is because I was playing with a really good team, and we got to like 180 to 50, and then all of a sudden, like, because when you're playing with a team like this and you have kill streaks, you got to call them out, like, I got next, or else you won't get your kill streaks, or somebody will get really pissed at you because they were about to use theirs or whatnot. And so, you know, everybody, whoever gets the first Blackbird out, you know, obviously has first. And so, you know, we're playing with some really bad kids, and like all of a sudden it's like 180 to 50 because, you know, we don't like to triple cap. We like to keep two capped and just, you know, keep the game a little bit longer so everybody can get more kills. But it was like 180 to 50, and all of a sudden, like, 3 people on the team called out, I got next. They were like, oh shit, let them triple cap. So, you know, we let them triple cap, and then we just, like, went to town. And yeah, so, like, we let them, I think the game ends at, like, 200 to 197 because we let it go for so long, and then we, you know, we capped everything, like, immediately at the end, and we barely won because we waited so long. But, I mean, we didn't really feel any pressure or anything. I mean, I don't think any of us thought that we were actually going to lose. But, so yeah, but basically, on my last video, I asked you guys to give me some feedback about what you wanted to see from my channel, if you wanted to see some kind of story time or whatnot. And I got absolutely 0 feedback, and I know I couldn't really expect too much with 10 subscribers, but still, I mean, at least somebody could tell me if they thought it was a good idea or not. So, basically, it comes down to I love all of you, but fuck all of you, I'm going to do what I want. And don't really fuck all of you, but really fuck all of you. And, no, not really, but really. But, so, I'm gonna do some kind of, I'll probably call it, like, Fantastical Tales with Big D or some shit, but for right now, it's just gonna be a story. And, a lot of my stories involve drugs and cops, which are an amazing combination if you don't know. I mean, just combine drugs with cops and you got yourself a good time every time, if you didn't know that. Not that I'm condoning drugs in any way. I've been clean for 1.5 years now, but this happened about like 2.5 years ago. And a little backstory to this is I was with my friend, who will just be called my friend in this story because I do not want to be associated with him in any way. He's a backstabbing asshole and I never want to see him again. But he does have some good qualities, and one of those is that he would stick up for his family no matter what. And in that regard, he was a very good person. He would do anything for his family. And in this case, his sister was in need of help. She was in a very, very bad relationship with a guy who, for the purpose of this video, will be called Dickface Jr., and his father will be called Officer Dickface because he is an officer of the law in LJ, Georgia. And he is a very corrupt officer of the law. And for any of you who don't know, do not go and cross any cops in North Georgia, small town North Georgia, because it's not a good place to cross cops. But, like, his sister was in a very abusive relationship, and basically he went and stole her from Dickface Jr. and took her to Florida so she could live there. And because she had been living with him for a long time in this little trailer right beside McKaysville, Georgia, for like a really long time. And, you know, his father being an officer of the law, he has this, like, mentality that he can do whatever the fuck he wants, whenever the fuck he wants, and that this woman is his property. It was a really, really bad situation. And there's actually another story I have where I had to deal with Dickface Jr. personally in the middle of the fucking woods in a trailer by myself one time because my friend was too fucking scared to go and support me, and I had to go pick up his shit. But that's a story for another time, and it was a really, really scary story, honestly. It's nothing I would ever want to do again in my life, but, you know, I was the same way with my friends. I would help any of them out, but apparently they didn't feel the same way back. So after all the help I gave them, they still stabbed me in the back, and, you know, that's just one of those things that happens in real life. You know, there's shitty people in the world. You do your best to help them, and they screw you over. But, this story, so basically, you know, he stole his sister away from this abusive fucking cop son, and you know, spirited her away to Florida, and and so, you know, there was this like family grudge between the two of them. Like, you know, Officer Dickface's family hated this kid and his family, and there's a lot of bad blood between them because, you know, he stole his son's property. Like, that's my son's woman he stole, you know what I mean? And his son felt the same way. Like, that was my bitch. And it's just a really fucked up mentality. And, you know, they felt like they owned the world, which, you know, in a lot of the ways, they did own North Georgia. I mean, they could do whatever they wanted. They could get away with murder if they wanted to. I mean, that's how bad it was. But, so, basically, you know, we're at a gas station right beside my friend's house. We were going to my friend Spencer's house, and we did not have anything in the car with us. And I drive an 88 Dodge Diplomat, which is like a pimp mobile, you know. It's got, like, you know, the burgundy exterior, and then it's got, like, completely crimson seats, and, you know, it was just like the epitome of pimp mobile. I mean, I got it for $800. I really couldn't complain. You know, it was my car. And so, you know, we're at a gas station filling up, and who do you know is down the street looking at us? You know, it's fucking Officer Dickface sitting there staring at us. And, like, my friend's in the passenger seat like, oh, shit, did he see me? And I was like, oh, yeah, he saw us. So as soon as we pulled out of the gas station, he's following up into this residential neighborhood. And he's, you know, according to the law, you're not allowed to pull people over on streets the size that he pulled us over on. It was a little one-way street in my friend's neighborhood. And, you know, he followed us up the street and pulled us over up there. And so, you know, he pulls us out of the car, and, you know, because I'm overweight, so he pulls me out of the car, he lightly pats me down and puts me beside the cop car. And then he pulls Spencer out of the car, and he lightly pats him down and puts him beside the cop car. And then he pulls my other friend out of the car, and he, like, completely just pulls him out of the car, grabs his nuts. Like, he's patting him down, he just grabs his nuts like in a vice grip. It was the fucking funniest shit, just fondles him. It was the fucking funniest shit I think me and Spencer had ever seen. So even though it was a bad situation, we, like, almost broke out laughing right there. And we had this little, like, wiener dog in our car because it was our friend's wiener dog. And, you know, so he had another officer with him. So the whole time that he's searching our car, this other officer is just sitting there playing with this little wiener dog. And so, you know, they're searching our car in this little residential neighborhood. And, you know, they're not finding anything because my car was, like, a real mess. And they were just going through everything. And we knew that we didn't have anything. That's why we found the situation a little bit more funny than we should have. Because we knew that we didn't have anything. But, you know, so he's, like, going through all the shit in my car, and we're just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know, we know why he pulled us over, but it was just really fucked up. And so we're sitting there beside the cop car, and then all of a sudden, like, we hear something down the road, and there's this little, and I don't want to sound like a complete asshole, but there's this, like, little, it might have been Down syndrome kid or something, but, you know, he was definitely a special needs child, was sitting there playing on a swing set down the street, just screaming his lungs off, like, ah, the whole time that our car is getting searched. So the whole time that our car is getting searched, we have to listen to this kid on a swing set just screaming his lungs off. It was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And, like, my friend was sitting there because he was really frustrated by the entire situation. He was sitting there just, like, looking at me with, like, this complete, like, angry look on his face the entire time. Like, what the fuck is that kid down there doing? Like, can he not see that this is a stressful enough situation? Does he really have to add his little, like, lung blowing techniques to it? And it was just, it was really fucked up. But, so, you know, like, they're searching our car and shit, and then he asked me to open my trunk, and, you know, so I open my trunk, and he goes through my trunk, and, like, there's only one thing in my trunk that he pulls out. He pulls out, like, the 70s styles ashtray that I've had in that trunk since I had the car. And so he pulls it out, and he, like, you know, calmly takes his glasses off his face, puts his glasses in his pocket, and then he just holds the ashtray, he palms the ashtray, holds it up to his face, and just starts sniffing it. Like it's a fucking line of coke or some shit. And he just starts sniffing the fuck out of this ashtray. Then he throws the ashtray back in the car, and he looks at us, and he's like, have a good day, sir. And then, you know, so he just threw us back in our car, and he let us go. And I know that some of you, it's just amazing how when something really bad happens, just like some other crazy shit always adds to it. And so, that's my first story, and I'll tell some more soon. Rip Dragoon out.